finally sitting down to do our Q&A. It has been, I think, about 3 weeks since I posted the questions. I got some questions on Instagram, I got some questions on YouTube, and I got some questions on Facebook. So we will see how many we can get through. Also, you really can't see the puzzle that much, but just to kind of have something to do, we are going to start working on our little cat puzzle that we picked up a couple of weeks ago at Home Goods. So we do have this down here. We won't get very far. I thought it was a 500-piece puzzle. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle. So it's going to take a hot minute. I dropped a piece in the floor. It's going to take, I dropped 2 pieces. It's going to take several days to put this puzzle together because we literally just got it out of the box. But it's super cute. It's got some little cats. One's wearing a Christmas hat, and there's one in there that looks at least similar to ours. There's a Siamese, a black cat, and then there's not one that looks exactly like Nico, but there's 2 or 3 gray ones in here. And some like gray and white. But anywho, we think it's super cute. Regardless of all of that, that's what we're going to be doing while we scroll through these questions. So we have Mr. Charlie here. We also have our glass of wine. We are just drinking a little rosé and enjoying our night. So we will just jump right into some of the basic questions first and then get into the other ones. I got several. I don't know if we will be able to do all of them. We shall see. So let's see here. I've got them in 2 or 3 different places. So one question is, who proposed and how? Do you want to answer that one? It's kind of like a 2-parter. So he proposed. Of course, we were super young when he proposed the first time, and he didn't do a good job at it, did you? What did you do a few years ago?
We had an anniversary coming up, so I got a different band to give her for our anniversary, and we went to a Japanese restaurant in Murfreesboro, and our kids were with us, and I proposed then at the restaurant.
Yeah. So to sum it up, he did get me another ring set. He went to Jared's. I don't know if you can see that from there or not, but I'm sure y'all seen my ring. You have to stop clearing your throat. Charlie still has a cold, so he's going to be clearing his throat and coughing the whole time. But he re-proposed. He went to Jared's. He got me a new ring. I still have my other ring, and we are thinking about getting it reset. We actually have looked at a couple of bands and are kind of thinking about that I can wear on my right hand because the diamond in it is really good. It was actually from a ring. It was his mother's ring. My first ring was. And then we had it just set in like a gold band because for number one, that one didn't fit my finger, and I think that it was in like a white gold or something at the time. Of course, now I want it back in a white gold, but back then we had it put in regular gold. But mostly I wear like silver or white gold jewelry. I know gold is kind of in style right now, but I still want like a better band, one with some diamonds and stuff around it, something kind of simple to wear. But that's what we were thinking about doing. But yes, he did make up for it. He did re-propose at the restaurant a few years ago. I don't know, it's probably been
a while.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years ago or so. So anyway, so that's the answer. So Charlie has proposed twice, and I said yes twice. So let's see here. Okay, so we get a lot of questions about the kids. We do have 2 daughters. Jaylee is our younger daughter, and she's Athena's mother. And then we also have an older daughter. She's just 18 months older than Jaylee. She's not married. She doesn't have any kids or anything, but she is, you know, just young, living her life. She's around. We do not see her nearly as often as we do our other daughter, mostly because she doesn't have kids. Y'all know we see Jaylee all the time because we're constantly swapping out Athena and stuff. But yeah, so we've got 2 daughters. I got several questions about the kids. I'm just going to sum all that up in that one answer there. I think that answers all of those. Do you want to read a question?
Sure. Does your husband love cats as much as you? No.
Don't you say that. As Sophie comes in here, so you're going to choke on that one. Answer it for real.
They're okay.
I'm feeling salty about that answer.
I like them a little.
Scoot your chair over away from me.
Red puppy.
And then, so I love cats. I love dogs too. I guess I'm probably more of a cat person and he is more of the dog person, I think. So, anyway, I love my cats. In fact, when I was leaving work last night, a couple of the girls were like, stop, as I was driving off because I was the first one in my car. And I had just called him because I was going to have him meet me at the store. And I rolled my window down and they're like, wait, we think we hear a cat. We were worried it was in your car. And I was like, if it is, I'm taking it home. So don't be surprised if I come home with another cat. Anyway, they decided that it wasn't in my car. I drove on. It was not. I don't know. There is a couple of stray cats that we have seen around, like where I work. Actually, my job is really in the county. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you can tell, like, the way that I'm driving or whatever. It seems like I'm in town, but then, like, once I get on this one highway, I'm kind of heading out towards the county. So it is actually in the county, not in the city. So there are all kinds of, like, deer that come out back there, like, behind the building. We kind of park, like, in the back behind the building. And lots of times I come out at night and there'll be deer out there. We've seen a couple of cats. I'm not sure if it's the same one or not. I tried to get one of them to come to me one time. It was a black and white cat, but it didn't. But there are some like houses or something that's like behind the trees behind us. So it's probably just their cats anyway. And there's a dog that wanders around the parking lot. And we had a goat for a little while. But anywho, that's getting off subject. So we will move on to the next question. So here's one. Where did you both grow up? How old were you when you got married? How did you meet? Where did you go to college? And what were your majors? Hope I'm not being too nosy. I'll try to think of more. So I grew up in Shelbyville, which is about, 30-45 minutes from here?
I grew up in Lewisburg.
Okay. And so that's probably a little bit over an hour from here. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Tennessee, but they're both of them are a little bit south of us, I guess. We're closer to Nashville, and those are a little bit further away. We met at work. We both worked at Save-A-Lot, and I guess I was like, I started as a cashier, but I ended up being like an assistant manager or something there, and he was a butcher. Yeah,
young, handsome butcher meets girl.
I got to drink a glass of wine on that one, a whole glass. Where did you go to college and what were your majors? So I went to Middle Tennessee State University, MTSU, and I majored in accounting. And I do have my bachelor's degree. And you?
I went to high school and I did go to college briefly at Nashville State Technical Institute. And I dropped out there and decided to be a butcher full time. And at some point along the way, I left that to work for Nissan North America in Smyrna at an automotive car manufacturing plant.
And you've been there how long?
I've been at Nissan for 20 years.
Yep. So he started there when I was pregnant with our second daughter.
No, you'd already had Jayla.
Well, you started training. I remember whenever I went in to have her.
They didn't call me for a year after I trained.
So yeah, so there he had to do like a weird like training thing for a few weeks or something. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. It was kind of difficult because he was still working his other job. And then he didn't start until in the summer, in July. Jaylee was born in January. So it was like 6 months after he did that training. But I remember being a little nervous, which we were induced. I was induced. And we kind of worked it out well to where he didn't have to miss his training. I remember being nervous about that. So, anywho. So I think that answers all of those questions. And then somebody says, is Charlie always quiet or is he just camera shy?
I'm pretty quiet, but I do have things to say sometimes.
He is not as quiet as he appears on camera. Charlie is quiet in certain situations, and especially like around other people. He's not like me. So I tend to like stick my foot in my mouth a lot, because whatever crosses through my brain typically comes out of my mouth, and he gives things a lot more thought. And if he doesn't know somebody so well, then he's not going to hardly say anything. So a lot of people think that he really is shy, and it's not that. Is that accurate?
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. So I just tend to like, blah, 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 blah. You know, I can be really quiet. I'm actually a really introverted person. I know it may not seem that way, like whenever I'm talking to the camera. If you go back and watch like my first videos, you might be able to tell a little bit more how shy I am, but I'm not really shy, but I can be really quiet and kind of keep to myself until I get to know someone, until I trust them. That's kind of my thing. You know, so now like on camera, like I feel like all of y'all are my friends, and I just, you know, talk and say whatever's on my mind, as you know, if you've watched any of my videos at all. How did Charlie propose to you? We've already covered that one. Were we high school sweethearts? We were not. We did not know each other in high school. If you had to pick only one meal from your meal prep videos as your favorite, which would it be?
Taco soup.
You think that one's your favorite? I don't know if I would pick that one for my favorite or not.
I eat taco soup every day, 365, I think.
Really? I didn't know he loved it that much. The taco soup is good. Do I have like a true favorite? One that just gets me every time. See, I lean more towards something that's got like sweet potatoes with it, because, which I love the taco soup, but I also lean towards some of the Mexican meals. I think the chicken enchiladas are good. Gosh, I don't know if I can pick a favorite. A favorite. You know, one of my favorites for sure, which I don't pair this with sweet potatoes, but it is that turkey sausage that I cook sometimes. I really love that turkey sausage, and like whenever I think about that, then it makes me crave it. There's something just so good about it. Like if you cook it just right and those pieces are nice and crispy and kind of caramelized a little bit, so good. The taco soup is like an easy winner all the time, and lots of times I pick that one to have an easy meal, because you just throw it all in the crock pot and it does all of the work for you. But I don't know, let me think on that one for a little bit. I may come back around to that if a meal pops in my mind, because I've made so many, and I try to make a new one, you know, at least every other week or so. That Mexican adobo pork that we have is good too. But I don't know. Let me think on that one. Somebody says, hello gorgeous people, I'd like to know from both of you your favorite veggie, and who sleeps on what side of the bed, and what scares you the most. So what's your favorite vegetable?
Vegetable,
I'll answer that one. So my favorite vegetable, I would say, is going to be the bell pepper. I think I really like bell peppers. You know, I like them on my pizzas. I like them in my eggs. And then I also love like chicken fajitas and stuff like that. I feel like we cook a lot of meals with bell peppers. I love bell peppers. I'd probably say that's my favorite vegetable over like a sweet potato. I mean, I do love a sweet potato.
I don't know. Toss between green beans and potatoes, maybe.
Yeah, he likes like real potatoes. I don't really like the taste of regular potatoes that much. I know that may sound weird. Now, I do like to make those little diced yellow potatoes, but I season them up with that Cajun seasoning, and then you can't really taste the potato-y part, which is the reason that I like to make those. But I don't like mashed potatoes and stuff like that. I don't know why. I used to when I was younger, but I just don't like that anymore. I don't know. All right, so who sleeps on what side of the bed? So what side would you say you're on?
I'm on the right side.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm on the left side, he's on the right side. So kind of opposite from what we're setting right now. And then what scares you the most? What scares you the most?
Probably thinking about what would scare me the most would be, I stepped on a snake one time, and that was pretty frightening because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was poisonous at the time, so if I was to come across a poisonous snake that took me by surprise, I'd probably be fairly scared about that.
I think that would scare me too. My answer is spiders. So I am really afraid of spiders, like, and bugs in general. And this is going to sound weird, and I might have said this on camera before, but I actually don't like to, like, step in the grass. I know that's a weird thing. A lot of people find that weird, but I know that it's just full of bugs that I can't see. So I have this anxiety almost about, like, stepping in grass and not knowing what little bugs or whatever are going to get on me. But it's truly spiders that freak me out the most. So I think that answers all three of those. When did you start WW prepping vlogging, and what did Charlie think about it? Was he always on board? So I'll answer the first part, and then I'll let you answer your part. So I started WW in September 2019. I didn't start immediately prepping and vlogging. I really just started it for myself in the very beginning. Both of the girls had moved out. It was just us. I had put on weight since my weight loss surgery and decided that I wanted to give Weight Watchers a try. I had done Weight Watchers on and off for years ago, but hadn't in many years. But overall, I joined Weight Watchers because I was tired of doing like low carb, which is kind of what they push you to do after you have like weight loss surgery. You're supposed to eat your protein part first and then like your vegetables, and you know, that's pretty much going to fill your stomach up. But after many years of doing low carb, I was kind of over it. I wanted to eat fruits. It's like my body craves fruits. I love bread, things like that. So I started in September of 2019. And at first I just started cooking for myself because he always cooked. And I was kind of like, well, you can just make whatever you want to eat. So like that went on for what, 2 or 3 weeks or so.
I got hungry.
So one day I'm getting ready to cook and he's like, well, what am I going to eat? And so I was like, well, you can eat this food if you want to. There's nothing special about it. It's just portion food, really. To be honest, I don't really feel like it's diet food. I just portion it out. Now, sometimes, as y'all see, he gets a heavier portion than I do if I have extras, especially like the things that count points, the potatoes and the rice and things like that. So he's well fed now. And he's happy. I think he's happy doing it. Are you? I don't want to answer for you. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Food's good.
I mean, do you like the whole prepping the food for the whole week and all that? We get that question a lot. I don't know if that's in here.
I mean, you get home and all you got to do is throw stuff in the microwave. It's a lot different than the way it was when the kids were coming up and I'd have to
think of something every night. Feeding kids is awful. I don't necessarily like to feed kids. If you have kids, you know what I'm talking about. Now that it's just you and I, it's so much easier because we just decide what we want to have for the week and we don't have to worry about anybody else's opinions but ours. So that makes it easy. I do understand that for some people that are trying to feed a large family that might be a little bit more difficult. But I do still think that most of the meals that I cook can be incorporated. And, you know, you might have to make like, say, chicken nuggets or something for your kid or something, but they can eat a lot of the stuff, maybe not some of the spicy stuff, but you know, you can always modify everything. But anyway, so yeah, I think Charlie's always been on board. That was one of the questions. Were you always on board? He has always supported me in any of my weight loss journeys. I mean, he supported me. Nico's fixing to try to jump on this puzzle. He supported me through my weight loss surgery. He took care of me after that surgery. He took care of me after my breast implants and my tummy tuck. That was a big deal to take care of me after that. So he's always like 100% supported and went along with whatever I've wanted to do, if that answers that question. Somebody says, how do you deal with stress eating? I don't know if I really stress eat per se. I mean, you know, it's not that I won't like feel stressed sometimes and want something, but I do still have restriction from my weight loss surgery, so that kind of prevents like a binge, if that makes sense. If I crave something or want something, then I'll just eat it. You know, I'll have a little bit of it. One thing I try to avoid is sugar. So, You know, if I was to like stop at the store and say buy a birthday cake and bring it home and just start eating the heck out of it, then you know something is seriously wrong with me. But I usually never have like cravings like that necessarily. I don't know. I mean, I feel stressed a lot. I feel stressed at work and stuff like that. So I think that my body is just adapted to feeling stress, and I've really tried to focus on just the consistency and discipline and not really looking at food as a stress reliever. I would say that more of a stress reliever for me is shopping or taking a nap, to be honest. I mean, honestly, if I'm feeling tired and stressed, lots of times I just want to shut my brain down. I just want to take a nap. It's not that I just really want to eat. I don't care as much about food as I used to, and I try to tell people this all the time. Like, if you work in an office, you know there's always donuts being brought in, there's always snacks, there's always something. It's going to happen every day, no matter where you are within your life. There's always some event, there's always some birthday party. And so I just try to tell myself, you know, usually like I won't have that cake, I won't have that donut. A lot of people will, they're like, oh my gosh, I've been so good on my diet this week, but I can't resist this donut. And I used to be that way, but I'm not that way anymore, because I just look at it like, I've had thousands of donuts. I don't need that one. It's not worth them. I don't even know how many points a donut would be. 10, 15 points probably. I mean, it'd be a lot, because they're full of sugar and fat. So I just try to think of it that way. It's like, I'm 47 years old, and I mean, I've had tons of birthday cake. I've had tons of donuts and cookies, and I still make cakes and cookies and everything. I just do it in a Weight Watcher friendly version now. And Charlie's got to where he likes some of these desserts too. Nico is just dying to jump over here, y'all. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. We have a bunch of questions. This video is going to be an hour long. This one's funny. What is the one thing that gets on your nerves that your husband or wife does? What is the one thing that you love most about your partner? And have either of you been married before? So I'll go first. I was married once before, just for a couple of years, and I was really young on that one. And then I've been married to Charlie now. How long have we been married?
23?
Maybe 23 years, something like that. And then the one thing that your husband does that gets on your nerves.
It's breathe, right? Is it breathe?
Breathe is up
we're
there.
On camera.
So y'all think that Charlie is like super quiet, but he's not. It's the noise that he makes.
I breathe way too loud.
It's not just the breathing, y'all. If y'all are married, and then you know what I'm talking about. I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was the funniest one. It's like, what's one thing that a man does that really turns you off? And it flips, and the woman's like, that right there, breathe. And it's that Savage Mom or whatever. If y'all seen her, she goes to the comments and reads them, and it's funny. I sent it to Charlie. But Charlie makes a lot of noise. And I've noticed it especially once I started my YouTube channel, because believe it or not, the camera will pick up every little noise in the house. So we've kind of gotten used to not having the TV on, kind of having it quiet in here. You know, now I'm aware of, like, say if the dogs walk through, I hear their little toenails. Charlie, if I start videoing, he'll go over there to say start doing the dishes or something and turn the water on in the sink. All of those little noises like that, slamming doors, going to the bathroom, flushing the toilet, starting the laundry, all of this stuff. So it's the noise. So anyway, and then what is the one thing that you love most about your partner? And I would probably go back to the fact that Charlie has always supported me and has always taken care of me no matter what I've wanted to do, and always allowed me to be me, I guess. So now it's your turn to answer those questions. So what's the one thing that gets on my nerves that I do? Gets on my nerves that you do? Yes, gets on your nerves that I do. Sorry. I do things that get on my nerves.
Still trying to say it's me.
I am not.
I don't know, guys. She's really not that annoying. She's pretty good most of the time.
Don't lie. Be honest. They want honesty. They want to hear the dirt. See, Charlie's too nice. He won't tell the truth. I mean, I can almost answer the question for him. Okay? And this is probably the thing that gets on his nerves is I'm controlling. And that's not really the answer to the question that I was going to say. What I was going to say is that I'm pretty picky, I think, about the way that certain things are done.
Not you.
Uh-huh. And so it's one of those, well, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. But lots of times I want Charlie to do things for me, but then I'm critical of them.
True.
I would say that probably gets on his nerves. But I keep making him do it because I'm going to teach him to do it the correct way.
I'm never going to learn, guys. I'm just going to let y'all know.
Mm-hmm. Is that a good answer to the question? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. What is the one thing that you love most about me? I'm not going to answer that one. I'm going to make you answer that one. He doesn't love anything. I don't get on his nerves, but he doesn't love me. He has no feelings for me, y'all.
What was the question?
What is the one thing you love about me? What is one thing?
One thing? You're always real thoughtful. And it's your stunning good looks, too.
That's a lame answer. But we'll go with it because it takes him too long. And he has not been married before. Somebody just says, I think you and Charlie are a really neat couple. Thank you. Somebody else said, beautiful picture. On our picture, that picture that I posted in the Facebook group, well, on all of the questions, actually, it was one from us when we went to Florida when we were standing on the little boardwalk out there. I like that picture, too. Gorgeous couple. Somebody says, you and Charlie complement each other so well, doing things together. He's helping in the kitchen, or in taking an extra trip out to the grocery store, exercising, or watching a TV series together, and going to church together. Did this come about naturally, or did you two have to work on this for success for your good? It seems to me you both have your own strengths, and they are used uniquely in your life together. I have admired this of you too. Did we have to work on that together? I would say yes, maybe. I mean, it's not like, you know, we started off like this. I mean, I think most young couples start off and, you know, it's fine at first, and then you kind of fight it out for a few years, and then you kind of settle down and you kind of get into a groove.
We bumped heads till we smooth things out.
And I think this question is in here, but don't think that he doesn't have that redheaded temper too to go along with it. I'm going to need a refill. But I think now it comes about naturally. It's just we do what we do, you know? We just kind of... Alright guys, I thought our memory card was full. It stopped recording, but it seems fine now. So anyway, so hopefully we answered that. You know, I do think that it all comes about naturally now. Did I turn the camera a little bit? Or is it okay? I guess it's okay. Maybe tilt it this way a little bit.
Well, yeah, there it is. It just came off the base.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we didn't start out that way. You know, we've had to work through problems just like everybody else. It's just kind of more natural now. And it's easier now, too, since the kids are out of the house, since it's just us. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we can just kind of do our own thing when we want to or not. What do you like or love most about your family? I don't know. I mean, everything, just like anybody else. You know, I love my girls. I love Athena. I mean, that's my favorite thing in the world. It's the grandbabies. Has Charlie ever raised his voice? And then somebody added on to that question and said that they would like to add to that question. Has he ever not given you your way? So, have you ever raised your voice?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure he has. He has that redheaded temper. I knew that there was a question close to this in here. And if y'all can't tell, I mean, I'm sassy. I have a temper. I, have that little fire behind me too. I am not somebody's little doormat, for sure. So, anyway, have you ever not given me my way?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Can't think of anything right offhand.
I can't think of anything offhand either. Typically, I mean, we each get to do whatever we want. I mean, it's not like we're each asking permission or whatever, if that makes sense. But probably the answer to that is no, you've never not given me my way. I mean, it is what it is. I think that's a funny question. I'm so impressed by how faithful you are to the plan and continual food prepping. Do you ever have cheat days? If so, what is the one high point food choice you would choose? So yes, every Saturday I have an untracked day. Now I do not go crazy and eat crap all day long. I mean, I still pretty much have the same breakfast. I might have a little bit of a higher point lunch because I'll have sweet potato fries or something, but sometimes I still just have like my fruit and pizzas. We love those little pizzas that we make. Charlie has his version that he makes. He eats those all the time on the weekends for lunch. And then typically it's Mexican food that's going to do it for me. I really love some Mexican food. We like to go to the Mexican restaurant, and if we don't want to go out to eat, then we go pick it up. So it's Mexican food for me. Where is your most special place to visit for vacation? What is your favorite holiday? If you could change anything about your life, what would it be and why? So I would say our favorite place to visit is going to be Florida, where we went on vacation, Pompano Beach. That is special to me, to Charlie too, because my uncle lived down there, and a lot of like my cousins and stuff too. My cousin, she goes down there with her family. We've been down there lots of times with them. Some of my uncle's friends still live down there and own a condo and stuff, and it kind of feels like a second home to us. Eventually we would like to have a condo or a house down there. We shall see, how that plays out, where that takes us. But I would say that is our favorite place because that tends to be where we always go. Favorite holiday? I mean, do we have a favorite holiday? Both of our birthdays are on holidays. Mine is New Year's Day and his is Valentine's Day. Fun fact.
Definitely not my favorite holiday, though, isn't my birthday.
Valentine's Day. I'm sure it probably does kind of suck because I feel like on Valentine's Day it's supposed to be made about me and him, I guess. But then it's his birthday too. It's a weird one. It's weird to have. But my grandfather's birthday was also on Valentine's Day, so I always thought that was neat that Charlie has the same birthday as him.
No, 4th of July has always been something we celebrated in Pompano, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I do kind of want to say Christmas, but I feel like Christmas is everybody's favorite holiday because it's Christmas. But Christmas can also be a stressful time because, you have to buy all of the gifts and all of that. So I personally like holidays where you don't really have to do a whole lot. You just kind of get together, whether it's eat, hang out, whatever. Sometimes Christmas can get stressful. I know, especially like for younger people too, it was stressful, on us at Christmas buying gifts and stuff like that. And y'all know I tend to go overboard. Always do, always have, always will. It is what it is. But it is fun to spend the 4th in Pompano Beach, sitting on the beach, and they always do like a big fireworks show. I don't know, I have a cute picture of us from a few years ago where we're sitting out there. I'll see if I can find it and overlay it right here. I don't know, I'm sure that I have it somewhere. It pops up every so often in my memories on Facebook of us sitting on the beach, just like one evening, just kind of waiting on the fireworks. And, that's kind of the life that I look forward to, I guess, in our next life once we get to retire and hopefully have that second home or primary home down there if we just move down there all together. My issue is the grandbabies. And if there's anything we could change about your life, what would it be and why? I would just say, I mean, it would be nice to have unlimited resources, you know, to not have to worry about money, to not have to worry about work, to be able to travel the world and just do whatever we wanted to do. I would say that would be a goal of mine, you know, just to have the, not to be rich. It's not like I want to be this rich person or whatever, but to just have that aspect to not have to worry about, if that makes sense. And him, I mean, he works in a factory, you know, his body hurts and different things. Y'all probably don't see that a lot, but he has a lot of aches and pains. You know, I'm taking a leap of faith and leaving my job and hoping to make a go of it here on YouTube. We shall see how it goes over the next few months. But really just to kind of have that freedom. Like, I feel like we've been locked into these jobs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what I truly would desire and want to change. Y'all seem to have such a great relationship. If you could give couples one piece of marriage advice, what would it be? I've talked a lot. You want to answer that one first?
I would say to try to be patient and to try to think more of your partner's needs and wants other than yourself, because it's easy to
think of yourself.
Yeah, just kind of, you know, especially when you first get married. I mean, it's easy to be selfish and just try to do what you want to do, and there can be a lot of problems if you know, if the both of you are doing that. So.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good advice. I think my advice would be not to give up too easily, because lots of times time does kind of cure all, if that makes sense. I mean, even if we get mad at each other, you know, sometimes even if I get mad and I don't want to speak to him or he doesn't want to speak to me or whatever, I mean, eventually over time, you almost kind of forget about that. So some things just need time to work themselves out. So that would be my advice, is just to be in it for the long haul. I mean, we've been married for what, 22, 23 years. We don't even know at this point. We can't add in our head. We got married in 1998, so I guess it's 23 years. I mean, we just had an anniversary, but
It's been a couple of weeks now, so.
That was in August. We done forgot. Our brains don't work, y'all. But yeah, that's what I would say, you know, is just don't give up so easily. Just kind of give things time to work themselves out. And they usually do, somehow, some way. And that's kind of with all aspects of life, I think. You know? I love watching your YouTube channel. Do you ever think about doing more than just WW on your channel? Maybe clean with me or decorating videos. I think that would give you more views since you want to stay at home. So yes, I mean, and I have talked about that several times, wanting to expand my channel into more of a lifestyle channel. And I kind of have been trying to do that a little bit. I mean, I do have some clothing videos and hauls and stuff on there. My favorite thing to do actually is vlog. I have realized I never thought when I started my channel that I would like vlogging, but I really just prefer to vlog, to be honest. And just to kind of film what we're doing in a day. Those are my favorite videos to film. And I do like to film the meal prep videos, but that almost feels like, you know, it's like a full work day, if that makes sense. It's like if you're vlogging, it's like I'm just doing whatever I want to do and y'all are just coming along with me. But I do want to do like organizational videos, cleaning videos, all of that stuff. So hopefully y'all will be able to see all of that in the near future. In the near future. I can't speak. Do we have a bucket list? And if so, what's on it? I don't know if we have a bucket list per se. Honestly, the only thing I really want to do is have that condo on the beach in Florida, or house. I always say or a house. The reason I say that is because like the unit where my uncle lived and where we stay, they don't allow pets, okay? And then some of them only allow 1 or 2 pets. And we have 5 now. By the time that we ever move down there, who knows? I mean, who might still be with us and who won't. Yeah. But I don't want the pet restriction. So I would prefer a condo because I don't want to have to worry about yard work or even like having to take care of the pool or anything like that. Like that is the benefits of being in a condo, even though you have the HOA fees and everything. But I'm sure you have those in the neighborhoods as well. So that's the only thing really that's on my bucket list. And, you know, actually another thing, and, you know, we kind of talk and joke about it, is here having like a piece of property and us having a house next to Terry and Jaylee, or, you know, right there close. I don't know if that would ever happen, if that would be a good idea, if that would be a bad idea, but that is one of the things that we talk about as well. Anything on your bucket list? No? Charlie just is along for the ride. He just goes with the flow. Somebody says, why do you always drive when you were going out together on the weekends? Okay.
Because I drive like Steve McQueen.
Y'all, Charlie is the worst driver in the history of the world. It makes me sick. Physically sick. Gives me anxiety. So the only way that we can actually enjoy ourselves in the car together, I have figured out a few years ago, is if I drive. Like in the beginning of our marriage, I used to allow him to drive. And then I would get anxious about it. And a lot of that anxiety too developed, I would say, like after like my dad died, which he didn't die in an accident, a car accident, but he died in an accident at work. But that kind of created a lot of anxiety in me about stuff happening. So I feel better and much more in control when I'm driving, because Charlie is an awful driver. I mean, it is what it is. He can park. I can't park for crap. But, you know, he's good at like backing up and parking and all of that. Like sometimes I'll just get out and let him park the car. But if it's like, if we're in like a congested area and I can't find a parking space or something, I'm fine with that. But as far as being in the car and driving, I have to drive. I mean, like if we were to drive to Fort Lauderdale today, it's like a 12 to 14 hour drive, whatever it is. I'm going to drive the whole time. And I'm just going to be sick and tired by the time we get there.
We'd get there a lot faster if I drove, though.
No, we wouldn't. No, that's not true. Have you measured go weight, and are you a lifetimer on WW? No, I'm not a lifetimer. I think that I'm at a good weight. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have this goal to, you know, drop just a few more pounds. We shall see if it happens or not. I mean, I've pretty much only been doing WW online. I did change a few months ago to the online workshop thing to where maybe I could become a lifetime member. But I really don't even know if I care about that, to be honest. You know, because I feel like I have this like, I feel like Weight Watchers makes you put this arbitrary number out there and then forces you to try to stay within that range or whatever. And I don't know if that's necessarily healthy. Do you see what I'm saying on that? You know, it's like I feel good at the size I am and the clothes that I'm wearing and the way that I look and everything. And it's like, do I want to reach this arbitrary number that I have in my head, or am I comfortable where I'm at? So, we shall see. I'm always a work in progress. I always say that. Just a few more. I'm sure this is getting very long. So, new subscriber here. Why does Charlie do all of the chopping, prepping, assuming you split up tasks in the home and this is one of his?
My butcher skills.
Yes, because in the beginning, when I first started doing this, he didn't help at all. Like I said, I was doing this just for myself.
She's trying to cut her fingers off, cutting vegetables up, so I took him.
Yeah, so it kind of got to where I had him coming in and helping do certain parts of the chopping at first. And then it just kind of became a thing to where he started doing the prep. And like in the beginning, when I first started my channel, he would just come in here and like chop all that up and it was like ready for me. And so then I was like, why don't we film you doing it so that you get credit for it? And so that's when we started, you know, setting the camera up and just filming him doing the prep, just so that y'all could see that he is the one doing it. And now it's kind of just become our thing. You know, it just kind of evolved that way over time with him helping do things because I had cut myself. You know, it's harder for me, like on my neck and stuff, especially like cutting things like, say, sweet potatoes and stuff like that, those harder vegetables to cut. So I would have him come in and help do that. One time I nearly cut the end of my thumb off and I had to have him come in and, you know, finish prepping that day. So my knife skills are not the best, and as y'all see, he does a great job. So now it's kind of become a thing, and everybody loves to see Charlie do his part of the prep, I think. And we do split up tasks within the home. I mean, we just both kind of have our own things that we do, and that's just the way it is. I feel like we are always kind of been the type to divide and conquer.
I'm the laborer, this is management.
I would say that's fairly accurate. If y'all can't tell, I am the manager, CEO of the household, whatever you want to call it. I'm CEO. Somebody says, I see how hard you work on your videos, and believe me, I don't know how I could be so successful without them. You and Charlie are like family. You are so strong and consistent. Does Charlie ever ask you to take a break from making videos? No. He doesn't. It's just kind of a thing. It actually just kind of fits in. You know, we started like the meal prep and all of that before I started the YouTube channel. I decided to start the YouTube channel because I was making all of these massive preps every Sunday, and I was watching other YouTubers do the same thing. And, you know, I am an accountant. I do kind of have that entrepreneurial, did I say that word correctly?
Yeah.
Mindset about me, you know, and I'm like, hey, they're doing that. I'm doing the same thing. I can make those videos. Now, you know, it's a learning curve. You have to teach yourself how to, I mean, if you don't know anything about doing YouTube, you've got to teach yourself how to use the camera, how to set it up, how to do the lighting. You've got to get used to the camera. You've got to learn how to edit. You've got to learn a lot of things. So I taught myself how to do all of that through watching YouTube videos, to be honest. Mm-hmm. He has a channel as well.
That's right.
A lot of people in the beginning were like, oh, Charlie doesn't want to be on camera. You're forcing him, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really think that was it. It just took him a little while longer to get more comfortable talking to the camera. And he still doesn't talk as much as I do, but he does have his own channel.
Charlie shows you how.
That's right. Charlie shows you how. It's mostly about his car and a few household things. There's more household things that this man needs to be doing. I'm just going to put that out there. But no, he never asked me to take a break. I mean, I feel like part of my thing with YouTube is to try to be consistent and to try to always provide y'all the videos on the day that I say that I'm going to. You know, I love consistent YouTubers because, like, getting up and working out and walking on that treadmill in the mornings, you know, I need some nice long videos that's going to get me through that. And if I run out of videos, it's super frustrating, you know. So certain people's videos that I like to watch that kind of get me through, I mean, sometimes I'm longing for them if they haven't put one up in a while. It's like, come on, you know, I'm putting out 3 or 4 videos a week. You can at least give me one a week, you know. But anyway, I like to do a lot of videos, and hopefully you'll see more. Somebody says, how has your relationship been affected by you losing weight and changing your lifestyle? What does Charlie think of your plans to quit your job? Apart from vacation and dinners out, do you two have activities that you enjoy together? So, how has our relationship been affected by me losing weight and changing my lifestyle? I don't know. I mean, because I really feel like that happened back when I had the weight loss surgery. Mm-hmm. I lost a lot of weight then.
I don't really think much has changed for me at all. I mean,
yeah, I wouldn't say that he loves me any more or any less than what he did before, if that's the question. As far as like the Weight Watchers lifestyle, like we mentioned before, we both really do like the meal prepping aspect of it and having the food ready for us each day, and then we don't have to worry about what we're going to eat each day. It does really help y'all. I'm serious. I know a lot of people prep their lunches because they don't want to have to worry about it, but really prepping dinners is kind of a game changer.
Nice.
What do you think of the plans for me to quit my job?
Sounds good.
Charlie literally doesn't care, y'all. That's one thing I said. He always just lets me do whatever. And here's the thing. If I quit my job and if I feel like, you know, we don't have enough money or whatever, I'll get another job. I mean, that's just the type of person I am. Or I will, you know, figure out some way to pick up extra money somehow. I really don't want another job to where I'm having to go into an office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Now, one thing I do actually like is a little bit of stress in my life. And I know I'm getting away from stress because it's too much stress. If it's too much, it's overwhelming. If it's not enough, then I can like get off track with my consistency and stuff. So that's one reason I want to try to stay consistent and really focus on my YouTube and see where this goes. And there is a lot of work that goes into YouTube that a lot of people do not see. Okay? It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. I mean, even this video, after filming it, then you have to edit it, you've got to export it, you've got to import it. I mean, you've got to do all of this stuff. It's not just like pushing the easy button. It might look like it from the other side, but there is a lot that goes into it, especially when you're as chatty as I am. Oh, there was another question in that too. Apart from vacation and dinners, do we have activities that we enjoy together? I mean, we like to watch movies. You know, we're not like these outdoorsy type people that do activities like that. We like to travel. You know, I would say we like to go on vacations. You know, we like to go to Florida. We have fun whenever we do stuff like that.
Of course, I like to try to figure out, work on some things here and there.
Yeah, but that's you. That's not me. Mm-hmm. I do not like to try to figure out how to work on anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't put together a simple, if something happened to him, I told him, I'm just going to like have to hire somebody to be my assistant because I can't do just simple little things. I just rely on him to do them for me. Because I just don't like to even think about how to put something together. But now I like to be the one to work it, you know, say take a TV or a computer, for instance. You know, I want him to take it out of the package and like put the parts together. But then I feel like I'm the more techie type person to figure that stuff out, and then I don't know, he builds everything and puts everything together. That is not me. But as far as activities together as a couple, I would just say we like to travel. You know, we like to spend time with our granddaughter, of course. We like to, I don't know, we like watching shows together. That's one of our things that we always do. We always have like a Netflix show or a Hulu show or something like that that we are always in the process of watching. What is your favorite restaurant that allows you to stay on track? And how do you handle a week-long vacation away from meal prepping? How do you handle airport food? So, number one, I would say one of my favorite restaurants that allows me to stay on track would probably be like Jason's Deli. I have like a good sandwich and soup combo that I like there, and I'm usually full from that. I like that. And it's the half chicken panini. I think it's 9 points, or it was 9 points. I'm not sure what it is now. And then the fire roasted tortilla soup, which I think was 3 points for a cup. And to me, that's like a perfect little meal, especially like for lunch or something. We don't eat out a whole lot. We used to a lot, but we don't as much anymore. And how do you handle a week-long vacation away from meal prepping? So I did do a vacation vlog, and so kind of showed like all of my meals and stuff when we went to Pompano Beach. If y'all haven't watched that, that one, I mean, I pretty much ate the same breakfast. We went to the grocery store, you know, because we have like a full condo there. I mean, it's a friend's condo that we stay in. So we went and we made breakfast and lunch. Pretty much we had sandwiches and like chips and dip and stuff on the beach, because we went to the beach pretty much every day and sat out there all day. And then came in and got ready. So we pretty much just ate dinners out. I ate whatever I wanted to. I was on vacation. So we didn't eat any airport food though.
We had that one sub.
Oh, on our way down there we did. Yeah. But I don't personally like airport food, so I'm not a huge fan of it, regardless of whether or not I'm on a diet. And in situations like that, I don't really think that you can stay on track. And I try not to worry about it if I'm on vacation. I feel like I focus on consistency and stuff so much. If I'm on vacation, I want to enjoy my vacation. If I want something, I'm going to have it. I'll just deal with it whenever I get back. How did you and Charlie meet? Have you always lived in Tennessee? What is your favorite quote? If you both could do anything for a living, what would it be and why?
We met at Save a Lot. And the first time I ever laid eyes on you, I was going to a meat market managers meeting in Paris, Tennessee, and I made a stop off in Cheville. And
because he worked at a different location.
And you and another lady that worked there came in, and
we're talking to you and stuff.
Y'all were talking to me. I kind of laid eyes on you, and I was like, And I always kind of had you in the back of my mind thinking about you, and
It's so funny.
and it was like maybe a year later before we started dating.
Yeah. So yep, that's where we met, in the break room at Save-A-Lot. That's so funny, isn't it? That store's actually closed now, the one that we worked at in Shelbyville. There is one here in Murfreesboro. I'm not 100% sure if it's still open. The one that I plan on shopping at is actually in Laverne, because before I worked at the job that I work now, I worked in Laverne, and sometimes I would come home and pass that one, and I started stopping in there, and I like that store, and it's really only about 15 minutes away, so 15 to 20 minutes depending on traffic. I don't think that it'll be too bad if I run up there sometime during the week, you know, when people are at work and stuff. Have we always lived in Tennessee? I have.
Yep. Well, when I was first born, I lived in Alabama until I was 5 years old.
He was born in Alabama and then moved back to Lewisburg, which is his mother's hometown.
I was born in Huntsville, and then we lived in Scottsboro, Alabama, until maybe I was 4 or 5, and then we moved to Lewisburg.
So, what is your favorite quote? So, I would say my funny favorite quote is, if you want something done right, do it yourself. The other one is consistency and discipline is key. That is what I've learned over the past couple of years. It's just to be consistent and to try to be disciplined, and then you will meet your goals, whether it is financial goals, weight loss goals, relationship goals, spiritual goals, whatever it is. I think it's consistency and discipline. What's your favorite quote?
I don't know, I just think of like a movie line or something like, what was that one movie? He's like, I don't know what you call it, but I like the sound it makes when it goes off.
Well, if I think of like a TV show or a movie quote, I always think of The Office. You know, that's what she said, because I like to say that all the time. You're going to have to change that battery. We're almost done. All right, quick break and battery change, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right, we are back with a fresh battery. We just have a couple more questions. I'm sure this is going to be an hour long. Y'all just see how long we can talk. If we could both do anything for a living, what would it be and why? Mine is going to be a full-time YouTuber, and that's what I'm going to do. So, and why is because I love it. You know, I love the freedom that it gives me. I feel like I can work from anywhere. I could do anything. You know, if we were to up and say, move to Florida tomorrow, I can still just continue my YouTube just like normal. It's not like I have to look for another job. So.
Okay, I think my perfect job would be millionaire.
Just winning the lottery.
Just stop working altogether. Retired.
Retired.
Is that a job?
I'm all for retirement too. How long is it taking you to get into shape and weight you are now? Are you going to eat this way when you reach your goal? How does Charlie feel about eating all the meals since he's not dieting, or does he do it to be healthier?
I'm at my goal weight, by the way.
Charlie's always been at his goal weight, y'all. The man has never been on a diet, ever, in his entire life. So how long has it taken me to get into shape and weight you are now? So, quick story. I had weight loss surgery in 2012. Kept that off until about 2016-17. Went through depression. Gained weight between 2016 to 2019. Got tired of that. Knew that I had to do something. That's when I started Weight Watchers in September of 2019. And it has kind of been a slow process, but I've actually kind of been okay with that. Now, I do work out quite a bit. You know, I did not start out doing all of the workouts that I do at the moment. And I do plan on filming more of my morning workouts once I'm not working. I get up at 3:30 in the mornings to get my workout in now before I go to work. It takes a full hour and a half. I do an hour on the treadmill, and then I do 30 minutes of core work. And then we do like to work out in the evenings. It's just been so difficult. I mean, when I work until 6 o'clock at night, y'all, and then I have to come home, by the time that I just relax for a few minutes and we eat dinner or whatever, I mean, it's late. It's almost time for me to go to bed. I mean, that's one reason that I have decided to leave my job, because I feel like it's affected my quality of life. But anyway, Am I gonna eat this way once I reach my goal weight? Yes. I just plan on eating this way forever. I like it. And then how do you feel about eating the food since you're not dieting?
I like it.
He likes it. It's fine. It's not diet food, y'all. It's just portioned out food. And lots of times he gets a bigger portion. So it's a good thing that he's not on Weight Watchers. He's never had a weight problem in his whole life. So it's easier. And it probably is healthier for him because he does kind of have that sweet tooth and like that sugar. You know, he eats Pop-Tarts for his snacks at work and stuff like that. So anyway. Do you have a cheat meal at all? I think I've heard you say maybe on Saturdays you may have a cheat meal. Thanks. Yes. So that is when I do typically have my cheat meals. I mean, if something comes up and I need to say cheat or whatever, I will just go with it, especially now that I've kind of been, you know, around the same weight for the past few months. I'm probably a little more lax than I was in the beginning, but typically I do just have my cheat meal on Saturdays, and that's it. What do you do for a living? What is your favorite date night? I'm an accountant, but I'm fixing to just be a full-time YouTuber. And I watched a thing on Think Media. You know, sometimes that's weird to say. Like if a stranger comes up and says, what do you do for a living? Well, I make YouTube videos. Well, a lot of people think that's a joke, to be honest. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, ha, 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 so you don't do anything. No, you work your butt off. You actually almost work harder. People don't understand. And so Think Media put out a video that one of my friends sent me. So if she is watching this, she is a YouTuber as well. And they come up with the term of not a content creator, but a content entrepreneur or a YouTube entrepreneur or something like that. And that's the way I see myself, because I have always seen my YouTube channel as a business from the day that I started it. And so that's what it is for every YouTuber that is really working it as their own business. It is a business. So again, I just wanted to throw that out there. And he works at Nissan.
Yep. I build high quality vehicles for our global customers. That's our slogan.
I'm not even going to say anything about that. What is our favorite date night? I mean, we don't do a whole lot on date nights, honestly, because I've been so tired for the past year. But truthfully, a fun date night to me would be like going back to, say, when we were on vacation and just going shopping, you know, like whenever we don't have that tiredness in us. Like I was so relaxed and rested on vacation. Like I felt like I just looked better, like I was glowing. I remember like videoing one day, I was like, wow, we look good down here, you know, in Florida in the sun, and you know, we're sleeping in, we're getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. We napped on the beach every day. We fell asleep, literally sitting on the beach every day. But I would say that would be our favorite dates, is just shopping, going to dinner. We used to like to go to the movies a lot. I don't personally like that as much anymore, mostly because you can just almost do everything at home, you know, now with like HBO Max and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a better vibe, I guess, at home than it is at the movie theater.
And most movies are just copies of another movie anyway.
They are. I mean, they don't come out with good movies anymore, guys. And I like scary movies. I know I said this like in our last little Q&A. A lot of people don't, but nothing's ever truly scary, to be honest. I have yet to find the movie that has just terrified me. I'm looking for it. So, we shall see. And then, how do you feel about Weight Watchers plans changing? So, I did do a little sit-down video about that today. I had some anxiety about it in the beginning, but now, this is actually after the change. I think it's exactly the same, to be honest. I don't really see that big of a difference. You can set your plan up to be almost exactly the same as it was before. Once I figured that out, I realized that I was okay with it. There might be a change in the points that you're given daily, but it really doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I'm a little more lax on it now than what I was in the beginning, but you can earn points. So now I get like 20 points a day instead of 23 points a day, but I earn more than those 3 points between my exercise points and drinking water and eating veggies and stuff like that. So I'm okay with it. I think it's cool. It's fine. And then the last question is, oh no, I've already answered that one. So that was the last question. I thought I had one more. I kind of answered that one. That was a question about family. Like in the beginning, I included all of that in there. So I think that's it, guys. Whew, that's a lot of questions. It's 11 p.m. in case you are wondering how late it is tonight. So thank you for asking so many questions. I actually love to do Q&As. I know we kind of put this off a couple of weeks ago because I think we posted this late in October and it is now the middle of November. But it is hard to just have the time on the weekends to sit down together and film it. And then this weekend we don't have Athena, so I was like, we are getting the Q&A done. I've already closed everything off for all of the questions, and we have a bunch of them and we need to do it. So thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and loving us and watching my channel. I almost want to say our channel. You know, it's almost become Jennifer and Charlie, and who knows, maybe one day it will be renamed that. You know, we'll just be this couple that vlogs and travels and lives our life. You know, who knows? We shall see what the future holds. But seriously, thank you so much. I love you guys, and we will see y'all in the next video.
It's like they spell your name